Crypto holders, I need you to be paying attention very closely to what happens over the next 24 hours here in the crypto market. Because what happens over these next 24 hours is going to impact everyone. Crypto traders, investors, stakers, scammers, everyone. We are all going to be impacted by these next 24 hours. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to be watching and why it's so important. So without further ado, let's not waste any time. Let's get straight into it. So today we're going to be talking about two things: the FOMC meeting, which is tomorrow, and Bitcoin's current breakout attempt. Because I believe these two things are going to very likely determine what the state of crypto looks like for the next couple of days, weeks, and possibly even the next few months. So starting off with the first one, let's talk about the FOMC meeting, because you might be a little bit surprised that I'm making such a big deal about this. Because, we've had a couple FOMC meetings this year, and none of them have really turned into much. Jerome Powell says the same thing over and over and over again. They haven't cut any rates. They haven't raised any rates. They've kept everything the same. They've answered questions the same way. And so you may be wondering, Tyler, why in the world should I care about this FOMC meeting so much when I'm not really cared about the previous ones? And although that is a fantastic point, I would say that you're not thinking about it deep enough. What you have to understand is that the context of this market going into the FOMC meeting right now is completely different than the context of the market for any other FOMC meeting. Previous FOMC meetings, the stock market was slightly up or slightly down. The crypto market was slightly up or slightly down, as the crypto market and stock market have been going decently sideways for the majority of the year if you just look at year-on-year, kind of year-to-date performances. But right now, we are heading into both. We're heading into the FOMC meeting with both the crypto market and the stock market pushing up towards all-time highs. Now, the reason why the crypto market and the stock market are pushing up towards all-time highs are because investors, institutions, and traders all are under the belief that at the end of the year, we're going to start to see interest rates being cut. Matter of fact, if you look at the possibilities or the probabilities, right now, what you can see is that people are expecting that in September 17th, there's a 64% chance of a cut. And by October 29th, there's an 80% chance of a cut. And as a result of people expecting that interest rates will be cut towards the end of the year, they're trying to front run that move. They're trying to front run that big event by buying crypto and buying stocks now. I believe this is the primary reasoning as to why the crypto and the stock market are moving so strongly right now, is solely again because people are betting that we're going to start to enter into a better economic environment towards the end of the year as interest rates do start getting cut, due to the fact that historically risk on assets like crypto and stocks in some capacity, not index funds, but individual stocks, do perform better in these sorts of risk on environments. So knowing that the context is different this time around, I think you can start to understand my point here. My point is that people have been anticipating that we are going to start to see interest rates be cut towards the end of the year. So they've been buying like crazy, pumping these markets up. And what Jerome Powell says and does going forward from here could add fuel to the fire of this big pump that we've been seeing, or could completely dampen it out and end this fire. Let me give you an example. If Jerome Powell comes out tomorrow and says, yes, we're starting to see some economic strength, economic support, it seems like we're in a decent position towards the end of the year to start cutting rates, I guarantee you we are going to start to see the stock market and the crypto market absolutely sending again as people try to front run that actual event happening. It's the reason why buy the rumor, sell the news occurs. And we're in the buy the rumor phase. And if the rumor remains that interest rate cuts are going to come at the end of the year, we are very likely going to see Bitcoin, the altcoin market, the stock market, all giving us gains as institutions enter into a more risk-on mindset. But on the opposite side of that, if Jerome Powell comes out and says, well, as a result of the pending situation with China and the US, and we don't know how those tariffs and the tariffs with Europe are going to affect everyone and impact everyone, it's not seeming super clear whether or not we're going to be able to cut rates this year. It is going to start to cause some confusion. It's going to start to cause some uncertainty that could dampen this pump that we've been seeing and possibly even put an end to it for the next couple weeks or the next couple months. And I know you may think I'm exaggerating or I'm being dramatic. Trust me, because people have been buying as a result of what's happening with interest rates, any sort of news about interest rates are going to move this market really harshly up or really harshly down, and you need to be watching it incredibly closely. Now, at the same time that that is happening, at the same time that we are seeing Jerome Powell coming out and talking about interest rates, we are going to see Bitcoin's price attempting a breakout. What we can see is that if we actually head over to Bitcoin's price right now, it is just hovering directly below the resistance level of this descending channel. Now, think about it. Do you think it's a coincidence that Bitcoin's price is sitting directly below a decision-making level right before a massive event like tomorrow's FOMC meeting? Of course not. I'm under the belief that if Jerome Powell says anything positive or bullish or just neutral enough that the market takes it in a good way, I believe it might be exactly what is needed for Bitcoin's price to start making a break above this descending channel and starting to try to extend up towards some of those higher levels. Because remember, I've told you this multiple times. If Bitcoin's price can break through the descending channel and above this golden Fibonacci zone at $121,000, the door for Bitcoin's price to push up towards 125K, 128K, 138K is wide open. And I think that if Jerome Powell says anything that sparks bullish sentiment in the crypto and stock market, it will be what Bitcoin needs to make this decision, break through this golden zone, and start trying to pursue some of those higher levels. And so over the next 24 hours, what I need you to be watching is whether or not Jerome Powell gives us any sort of inclination of bullishness or bearishness towards the end of this year's rate cuts, and watch how that impacts Bitcoin. Because remember, if Bitcoin's price breaks out here, I believe it opens the floodgates for the altcoin market to really start picking up again. But if he says something negative and the market doesn't like it and we start getting rejected back down, this could be something that forces Bitcoin's price and the crypto market back down for what could be the entire month of August. August and September are not historically the best months in crypto. And so what happens here could be massive determining factors of if it's good or if it's really, really not good. And I think tomorrow is going to play a huge part in that. And so I am going to be here for you every single step of the way as this all does play out, especially tomorrow. Be on the lookout for updates from me on here, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere as this all does play out. And guys, don't forget, if you are trading the crypto market right now, trading Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, and many more, you can check out that link to BTCC down below. Guys, if you do sign up with my link, you're going to get up to $10,000 in bonuses and lower trading fees, all available with that link down below. Guys, this is one of the best deals for one of the best exchanges in crypto in general, in my opinion. So feel free to go check that out. Let me know what you think. And last but not least, don't forget that if you do want some extra content from me every single day, you can go follow me on Instagram at TylerHillYT_, where you can get some extra content about altcoins, Bitcoin, the market, and so forth, so on and so forth. So overall, listen, please be watching these two things incredibly closely over the next 24 hours and turn on those notifications because I'll update you every step of the way as it does play out. But of course, I hope you guys do have a fantastic Tuesday, and I can't wait to see you all next time.